Hi guys, welcome back. I'm for Towers Films.
Doug 218. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome to another recap of Survivor Island of the Idols, episode 3.
Entitled Honesty Would Be Chill.
You don't normally get a lot of honesty in this game, so.
Never.
Not usually. There are some who play with integrity and honesty, but a lot of them don't.
No.
A lot of them don't. I mean, but, really, that's the name of the game, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Outwit, outlast, outplay. So, well, it started. They came back as usual after the tribal council, but the ones that were not included in the vote to get out Molly were feeling a little on the blindsided side.
Oh, yeah.
Because Molly was not the intended target, according to them, when it went in. Because remember, Nora was on the chopping block, and or Jason was on the chopping block. But of course, Jason was happy that he wasn't going home.
He just kind of, if he could have, he would have skipped all the way back to camp because he was so dang happy. And seriously, I think if you dodge a bullet in this game,
yeah.
You're lucky because you're not going to dodge too many.
No, and they just thought Molly was the I guess the bigger target kind of thing, or the more scary kind of thing than he was. And really, it's true because she had a lot more. I guess not a lot more kind of allies, or it seemed that way.
Well,
anyway.
It's sometimes this game is. It's very cliquish,
Sometimes.
Okay, let me rephrase. A lot of the time, this game is very cliquish, and Molly was one of the pretty girls, one of the,
Nora, I think it was, one of the cool kids,
and the rest of them were like the geeks wanting to hang out at the cool kid table,
and hence they got rid of one of the cool kids.
Yeah. So, Tommy had to explain why it was, what went on and why it wasn't a move against Jack and Jamal, everything that played out. But it was...
because he didn't want to lose them as an ally.
Yeah.
Because remember, they were kind of close and they thought of working together, but Jamal wasn't in on the plan because obviously he's one of the cool kids, right? So he didn't want to lose him, but Jamal's like, yeah, okay, I'll let it go. I'll forgive, but I won't forget, kind of thing.
This might be a situation you may want to contain somewhere down the road.
Yeah.
Because that could come back and bite you.
Maybe.
But this is only the third episode in, and we'll see how it plays out. Okay. So basically, Jamal's more or less said, you know what? It's time for me. I want to go rogue. I want to play my own game, kind of thing.
Right.
Okay, and...
We really should do that anyway.
So, after all that, we jump over to Lyra's beach, and, the girls were happily engaged with their female alliance.
Yes, but it's kind of weird because some of the girls say, oh yeah, there's female alliance, but then there's, ones I think Kirshima are kind of like, yeah, I know there's a girls' alliance, but, I don't know, because she's kind of close to Vince and stuff too, and she also feels like a little bit of an outcast because she's not that comfortable going around in her underwear, swimming and stuff like that, and the other girls are. Because for culture,
of course,
but she's doing it anyway because she knows she has to because she doesn't want to be the outsider, and that could very well put her on the outs. But she's also kind of felt that they're almost like a sorority, and she actually says that later on to them, that feels kind of like a sorority to her, and that she does feel sometimes that she's kind of left out, even though she does
like
make
the outside,
an effort.
Yeah, like the outside kid.
Yeah, she does make an effort, though. She's not isolating herself.
And she actually had an incident where she cut herself.
Yes, she was opening, or she was a coconut or something. She's cutting something.
And she cut herself, as she said, right to the bone.
Right to the bone. It looks like she stabbed her finger, because she was holding it like that, and she's stabbing it, and it went right into her finger. She said she could see, but of course it's bleeding, so she's getting lightheaded. and she's got her head down, and like literally right behind her is the rest of her tribe, and nobody came to her aid. That could have been a serious cut. She could have sliced her finger right off for all they knew.
That's cold, man.
Like, here she is bleeding. She actually asked for a medic, which we didn't see this time, but...
You hear them cooking and all that behind them.
And they kind of look, the girls did, but nobody comes over, which, of course, makes her feeling like she's an outsider even more.
Yeah, when...
They gonna come over and let's see how she was, seriously?
See, here's the thing that I think, even though you may not like each other or whatever.
She's part of the Girls Alliance.
But,
she's not, I don't think, disliked.
But, you have to depend on each other out here. You're out in the middle of God knows where,
Yeah.
And injuries...
Can be serious.
Yeah. So pull your head out of your proverbial backside and go... If she's, like, on all fours like this...
Yeah.
And
maybe, she's asking for medical.
And maybe go see what's going on, like other seasons we've seen them
yeah, sure.
quick like
right
this.
There. Yeah, definitely. I don't think I'd want to be on that tribe.
No.
To tell you the truth. If they're like that. So she did get it wrapped up. We didn't see it because normally you do see the medical come in, but she did have it wrapped up later. So she wasn't I wouldn't be too happy about that either, but, it was her.
So she reconnects with Vince, and it seems like the two of them, because of their ethnicity,
Right.
They seem to
They're
be...
not the same, same ethnicity, but they are two really, outside of Jamal. Jamal's on that team. Tribe.
But Jamal is tight with
the cool kids and
the cool kids. So
yeah, they're kind of the two outsiders.
They kind of reconnect and bond, kind of deal.
So then a boat comes with a message.
When y'all need to get on the boat.
When y'all have to go to Island of the Idols, and it's Vince.
Vince.
Now we didn't see how he was picked. It could have been Rob and Sandra, or it could have been, I forgot who was there last, but we didn't see that part. So Vince's like, why me?
Well, because it's all...
lucky day, Vince.
Because it's all random. All we see is the previous one reach in, so we don't know. So
yeah, it's not like they're chosen.
Yeah.
Just it's picked. So,
it's picked.
So he goes and he sees Robin and Sandra, and he starts crying because he's been a fan since he watched them on the show, and now that was a long time ago.
Not just crying. This boy lost it.
Yeah, he was crying pretty hard.
And they're like, okay, you need to calm down. You need to stay calm under pressure. And they're trying to explain to him, like, this game, it's very stressful. It's very, you need to stay cool. You need to stay collected.
Yeah.
Then
his lesson and test come up. And it's basically all about keeping cool under pressure. Basically, what he has to do, if he should accept it, is head into the other tribe's camp and get fire from their fire pit.
And they give him a torch.
They get it. And so, their fire's really close where they're sleeping, so chances are, at night, chances are somebody could wake up.
Someone's going to see him.
Somebody could see him, and of course, he'd fail for an idol. He agrees to do it, and they teach him, like, how to crawl and hide. And
also, they told him, too, if you cannot get fire, or if their fire is out, you have to bring some other means to show us you were there.
So, he accepts, and he heads there. And it's funny, because it was raining, so...
Fire's out.
The fire's out. So he's trying to get to the fire, and, somebody's having a bad dream, and they woke up, and it was pretty funny. They woke up the others, so you had to wait till they went back to sleep. Movement woke somebody else up. So, he actually was able to get to where the fire pit is. And he thought he'll take ashes and put them in the bottle or something that he brought.
His water canister.
And to prove that he
was there,
And he actually made it out.
But I love the look. You see it in the infrared because they can hear the ash being dumped into the canister, and then you just see those.
Well, you can hear the movement.
Like what's going on?
So he made it out, and he got an idol. Yay!
Way to go!
So we head now into the Immunity Plus Reward Challenge.
Oh, this week the immunity was it was pretty unique. You had to.
Well, they've done similar things like it before. I mean, they start out in the water. One member has to dive and unlock keys or something. And then they have to get up onto a platform before the rest of the tribe can come with them, swim out to them. So actually, Lyra had quite the bit of lead.
Oh my God!
Bit of an obstacle course. So then they had to go to this teeter-totter in the middle of the water, and they had to balance it
to get the puzzle pieces.
So they had one person each, and they were helped. They had to work together to get the puzzle pieces. Now, they were having a bit of a time, Lyra was, at this point, so Volkai was able to catch up to them, although Lyra did still get ahead of them. So then they get to the end. It's like this puzzle of a fish that they have to put together. That's where it all fell apart for Lyra. They got one piece and they couldn't get any more. So Volkai came and basically blew them away.
Blew it away.
With the puzzle.
And it was, what was his name? The guy that put the puzzles together for Volkai.
Jamal, I believe, had a hand in putting the puzzle together.
Yeah. It was Lauren Beck and Jamal. And Jamal was just a machine, man. Just click.
It's like right from the first piece. It's like every piece he picked. Because he was looking at the color and he was looking at the shape. Krishma was doing it for the other team. And so she's like, and, the talent try it different ways. Look at the color schemes. And she just looked completely lost.
Yeah, let's call it what it is. She froze. She froze. And so...
of course, Volkai wins reward and
comfort.
Immunity.
They got blankets, pillows, a tarp. So now Lyra has to go back and lose
another record. So they're talking about who they should pick. The girls were thinking to get rid of Joe.
Yeah, because
one, he's the older one. He's also Canadian. First Canadian on Survivor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Former hockey player. And so he didn't play for, I don't think, a Canadian team, though. It's kind of ironic. But anyway,
we don't normally.
There's a lot more Canadian hockey teams than our baseball. We have one baseball team. But anyway, so the girls were thinking about Joe. The guys have an idea. There's 5 to 4 girls, so they're thinking they're going to control the team. They'll pick them off one by one.
Mm-hmm.
So they're thinking we should go with Krishma because she, with the puzzle, she's kind of the easy choice because she's, even though they like her, they haven't willfully excluded her or anything, but they kind of see her as weaker and all that sort of thing.
It'd be an easy...
easy out, basically.
An easy out kind of deal. And
so then... I'm not sure if it was Chelsea or one of the others came up with the idea, or Nora came up with the idea, instead of, like, say, Krishma, why don't we, or Joe, like, what about Vince? But Krishma didn't want to go for it because they've been pretty close, because it'd be an easy vote. But the ladies are like, why? Because he'll vote with us anyway, so why are we getting rid of him? But the ladies are also thinking you got to keep the tribe strong, and Joe's still pretty strong, and the other 2 guys are strong. So if you want to get rid of someone to keep your alliance strong, you're going to have to target the weakest member of theirs, and that would be Vince. Now remember, Vince has an idol in his hand. So it kind of goes back and forth, and it looks like...
Because there were so many names bandied about.
Well, mostly Joe, Krishma, and Vince, but... And
Tom got thrown into that.
Oh, Tom. Sorry, it's Tom. Not Joe. Tom. He's the hockey player. But so it's kind of like... It seemed like it actually came down to really Tom and Krishna. But when we get there, who do they vote out? They vote out Vince. And he never saw it coming. It's like he's leaving with an idol in his pocket.
And that's what Rob and Sandra, because they've been watching every Tribal. They're like,
well, even with us, because we were watching. Now, obviously, there was conversations they don't show, of course, but it didn't seem like that. I mean, but yes, they talked about it because it'd be the easy vote. It wouldn't tick off the guys, really. But I don't know. I think it would have been a better choice. Not that they don't need it, because they have the women have the numbers over the now. There's only 3 guys, but I don't know. I think sometimes it's not necessarily the best play.
True.
You know, I mean, yes, you have to physically keep your tribe strong, but you also kind of have to have allies too. And he was an ally for you, so I don't know if that was really the good idea.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out for them in the next episode.
And what's interesting is he kind of had a thought that his name would get brought up, but he could only play the idol twice, like the next 2, and he didn't play it. I guess he felt safe enough.
Well, and that's the problem.
But if he did play it, Kershma would have gone home. Because that's who they voted for.
That's the one thing you can never feel is safe in this game.
No.
You can always feel like your vote out is around the corner, because that keeps you on your toes. Yeah. And Vince, I'm sorry, I like you, dude, but you thought you had the girls behind you.
Well, it looked like he did.
It looked like he did.
Not.
But...
But if you think about it, if he did use it, then Kershma would have gone home. So... That they ended up splitting the votes. Well, the guys voted for her. Yeah. Except for Vince. Vince voted for Tom. The only one who did, because that's who he thought the girls were voting for.
And I think he knew his goose was cooked when,
Oh, once he started seeing his name, of course, yeah. And then he realized he's going home with an idol in his pocket.
Exactly.
But, if you feel safe, you're not going to use it, right?
Yeah.
So, well, that's it for this week. It was a good episode.
Yes, it was.
We'll see what happens next week. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the
I gotta lean over here because it's sunny.
So when we upload every time Survivor is on, and we will see you next week.
We gotta go now?
Yes.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.